Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of Jedi Academy. What is the Jedi Academy, you're asking me? Well, this is the show where it's nothing but Q&A. And we are here to answer all your questions about Galaxy Heroes. And the way it works is if you have a question for our panel, all you need to do is make sure you put in chat. It helps put this in question and then put in your question, so we'll scoop it up. Dr. Finn will be here in a little bit to scoop it up. I think he's running a little bit behind. He had to go take his help his mom by taking her car to the shop and get it set up for her. So he should be along here soon. So I will be scooping questions. So be patient with me. But make sure it's either in the form of a question or it has question in front of it so we can know that it's a question, right? We'll scoop all your questions up and we'll get into our panel and we'll answer it to our best of our abilities. We got some people that are here, some people that are running behind, but we do have two solid folks here, and you know these guys. So we got the one and only Warrior from Warrior Presents here.
What's happening?
And of course we've got the Stunner Jedi himself, Xylo Takedown.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, Xylo. You know, I haven't asked you, how's the baby?
He's doing good, man. He's with my oldest sister right now, so get ready for work later. Yes, he will, man. I'm so excited. He's already starting to say "Dada."
Well, you need to have him say Palpatine.
Right.
You, like your father, are now mine. All right. So quite a lot to get to this week, man. Did they drop bombs on us with characters, and oh man, did they put a lot of stuff out there? So while everyone's getting their questions in, and go ahead and get your questions in, guys. I will be scooping them up. So bear with me. Let's talk about the new characters. We were kind of breaking this down before the show. Start with you, Warrior, Jolie and Bastila, and make sure you see Bastila. I don't want you to get stoned. What are your thoughts on both their kits?
So I guess if you take a step back and look at the totality of the circumstances, and then also take a look at the hotfix that was just kind of pushed out forcefully late last night to actually get her kit to work properly the way they intended it initially. Mm-hmm. All in all, as far as, I mean, there's different levels in the game, right? There's PvP, PvE. As far as PvP goes, Bastila is now actually PvP viable and defensible. The teams, there are people on leaderboards now that have them, and there are people with Emperor Palpatine-led teams that are struggling to win, which that would be the definition of defensible. So I think that is... if you run that route now, I think you're going to be really happy with Bastila. And of course, Bastila is going to work in every other area of the game. So she's solid. She is an absolute solid addition. I'd put her at a 4.5 out of 5. I wouldn't give her a 5 out of 5.
A high B plus A.
Because she's amazing, but she's not like a legendary toon. But she's close. I mean, she really vies for that leadership position in a Jedi team. And her leadership is pretty amazing.
Yeah, what is the team that our people are running against the Palpatine team?
So it's what happened before Bastila was everybody wanted Jedi, so they were running Grandmaster Yoda with Hermit Yoda, and then General Kenobi and Ezra, and those four were insane under Grandmaster Yoda. But then there was a +1 slot, and people were putting in like Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, or they were putting in CLS, or there was a bunch of just little plugins you could do. Some were running Mother Talzin in that slot. So there's a lot of different options. Now, with Bastila coming out, she goes into that lead slot, and those four, the 4+1, now become just the backup to Bastila. So it's the two Yodas with Ezra. And by the way, I myself did Ezra's Zeta, not because I like Jedi, I'm light side guy, but I did it because I knew he's a solid damage dealer, and I actually wanted to have more overpowered damage dealing in the territory wars and stuff. So I went ahead and did his Zeta, and underneath Grandmaster Yoda, I'm getting 80,000 hits. I mean, to me, that is ridiculous. Wow. And I don't even have that good of mods, and I keep saying that. People are like, that's stupid, whatever. But like 112, 115 is the fastest speed sets I have. except for one set. One set I have like 128. And then all the rest are like 110, 112. And I only have a handful of those sets, like 7 of them. And so I've got like, 7, 8 sets of speed. And I've got other people on my leaderboard that have 5 sets of 130 plus speed on their arena team. Right. So it's all relative to what you're facing, I suppose. My mods would be great if I was on a 1.5-year server, maybe, or a year server. But so yeah, I don't know. Jolie, great for PvE, solid actually for PvE in all areas of the game. But when it comes to PvP, there's an unnecessary component with the healing that comes from him because there's not really any damage. And with Hermit Yoda on the same team, you can put Hermit Yoda in. They do the same thing, basically. They heal protection, health. But Hermit Yoda has that damage component because he can put in Master's Training and everybody mob attacks. And if you have a General Kenobi lead, there's multiple mob attacks. So, yeah.
Now, against Traya, that's a whole different ballgame because that Sith team... that was an issue with her leadership that they've apparently fixed. But
so her leadership just wasn't even working on anybody. It wasn't applying because they coded her leadership to apply to everybody else one way and then to her a different way. And I don't know why, but the coding is different. How it applies to her versus how it applies to others, the leadership applies differently. And they didn't explain that. They just said that basically the coding to apply to the others on the team was broken. Not for herself, but for everybody else. So if you watched any of our videos, she was doing fine herself, but the whole rest of the team was struggling. That's why everybody else was getting mashed. But now, I mean, the meta right now, 70% of the teams basically are running Emperor Palpatine lead, and so of the Sith, and so 70%, that's huge. This is going to be a counter to that. But if the people are slowly starting to evolve to Traya lead, which people are, the Traya lead will do well against this because all of those additional buffs do slowly eat you up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of health steal, though, with these characters. So, I mean, they do get it back really quickly when they smash you for 75,000 in the face and then regenerate all their health that they lost.
Yeah, no.
So it's still doable. You can still beat offense pretty easily. It's just defensively, it's not nearly as strong defensively as it was against Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, and I've been telling folks, wait, we still got 3 more characters coming up. We don't know what the synergy is going to be with that group from the Evan Hawk, So, Stoner Jedi, your thoughts on the 2 new characters and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, Warrior touched on, a lot of it. With the Arena Shard, too, that in mind, I'm starting to see a couple more Hermit Yoda and Grandmaster Yoda lead teams in my Arena Shard. So potentially, they're getting ready for Bastila and everything like that too. Bastila Shawn is amazing. I love her animations. Her kit is really unique. I love the new Master's Training. I think it is. Yeah, the new Master's Training buff that she gives too as well. I think all around that they're going to be exciting and they're just going to make Jedi more valuable, and you can start to look to even stretch the faction, and if you've already worked on them or geared them in the past, and it's going to be fun. It's just leading up to more exciting stuff. Obviously, the rev and hype around all of it, and I'm just ready to see what's around the corner after all these newer characters. So I'm really pumped, and I'm taking it all with a grain of salt right now, regardless whether the characters of the KOTOR series come out are amazing or if they're just another Phoenix or another solo series of characters. Even regardless, whichever way they go, I'm looking towards the future. I'm always looking ahead of what's next, and that's the main thing I'm really excited for, other than Bastila's animations and her kit and everything like that as well.
And we got King Felix with us. What's going on, partner?
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, how's
What's
things
up, Felix?
How are things in the world of the Green Army land?
Well, I'm still on leave, so I won't get back to the Army for another week or so.
Very nice.
So it's
nice.
So it's very nice. I'm outside with my dogs right now.
All right.
But as for the new characters, I'm very much enjoying Bastila. Jolie, I think it'll be good for the Sith raid once he's farmable, and I can probably figure out some massive heel type timeout team for territory wars with the Jedi now. And the other thing about Bastila was, I don't know about you guys, I was able to take her to gear 11 right off the bat with only needing to buy like I think 1.5 pieces for her. So in my opinion, she was a very easy gear, which
she is
totally,
which was nice. So she's sitting right now at 4-star gear 11 for me. I'm gonna start playing around with some Jedi in arena again. So we'll see how it works out. I'm trying to theory craft on my own about what the other 3 Ebonhawk squad are gonna do.
That's gonna be the thing. Oh, hey, we just got $20 from Laura Kelly. She said, "Thanks for all you do. Your advice has really stepped up my game." Well, that's what we're here for. That's what we love to hear.
Hey,
that's right. Damn it.
Warriors advice.
We do advice during the week, but we're retarded, so you have to take it with a grain of salt.
No, you guys are all solid, man. Don't put yourself in. No self-deprecation on this show.
Well, we do have the big deal with us, Warriors, so that kind of gives us some cred. Grande Patron enters the room, you automatically succeed. So when you have that in your back pocket, that's always a good thing. But let's talk about, our first question. I'm just going to throw this out to Warrior, because we were talking about this again beforehand. And I think this leads perfectly to what we're kind of getting into, because it was leaked. The new Sith, the Sith fighter was leaked. And Daniel Papaya's question: are you excited for this upcoming Sith fighter? He says, "I am." What do you? Where? I mean, it was leaked. What are your thoughts?
So yeah, I said that I felt like it was kind of a leak, except for it was an intentional one. I mean, it's on StarWars.com, and they get all their information from the game developers, so it was like an exclusive more than a leak. But I'm excited for this ship, and I have the Sith Assassin already at Gear 12. So I mean, she's ready to go as the crew member, but it's going to be 8 months or 10 months before we get that thing 7 stars for free to play, and that's the route I'll go on it. So it's going to sit at the bottom of my roster for the next 8 months, 9 months, until I get a chance to play. Because there's another, the new Millennium Falcon is amazing, but it's sitting at the bottom of my roster, and I can't use it because it gets one shot by everything, because the stars matter with ships. It matters with ships really big time. So sadly, that ship at 4 stars is totally unviable. And so, yeah, it's going to be another ship at the bottom, just sitting there semi-developed, waiting for the availability of farming and stuff. And with ships, they tend to drag out the farmability of it a lot longer than they do characters. Characters, they tend to kind of spit out quickly, so they turn them quickly, and sometimes they do it faster than the estimated, 3 months type thing. Sometimes it's even faster. With ships, that's not the case. Normally it's 4 to 6 months, even though they say 3. So I'm excited, more ships, yay! But it's not a ship I'm going to even pay attention to for the next almost year.
Right. Well, I mean, that's another thing is, we were talking about this, King Felix. Get your thoughts, but I'll throw this out to the whole panel about we're getting so many characters now that are needed to be farmed, but they're all going into hard nodes. So it seems that they're making free-to-play a lot harder to do, because really the only way, either you spend a lot of money to get the character, or you have to wait for it to become free-to-play. And then when it does become free-to-play, it's on a hard node that's going to take you minimum 3 to 4 months to get it unlocked. I mean, what do you think about the way they're doing the characters and where they're putting them, and how they're making them accessible for free-to-play to farm them?
Yeah, I've been noticing this as well. I was actually very, very sad that Boss went into just a single hard node.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to supplement with shipments, because I really want to get that character to 7 stars and probably maybe double Zeta him in the future, or at least Zeta his lead, because I like his leadership ability. But yeah, it seems like every character is going to the hard nodes. They just did the ship PvE table, and that it's going to be filled with characters soon. All these new ones that have come out are going to probably go in there, which the energy is like Cantina, except for you still only get the 5 attempts every day. So not sure if this is going to be indicative of their process for the long-term future, but
it's what it's been since for a while now.
Yeah.
And even the drop rate, because I've been farming Sonic, because I'm trying to get him to 7 stars. I got him to 6, and I'm on the path to 7. I'm not getting. I've had in the last 3 or 4 days. I've not gotten. I think maybe one, if I can remember, out of the ship. Node. What is it? 4E or whatever. But I mean, holy cow! It's awful.
See, I'm not farming him. I wailed on Scion, so I'm not having to farm him, and I'm getting really good drops on gear from the ship nodes.
Yeah. Same here.
And it's much better than the regular hard nodes, or even the regular normal nodes. I'm getting much more gear from those. But I'm not sure about the character shards. Once they put, Nest and probably I'm assuming the prepared characters are going to all go into ship nodes, and then maybe you'll get I don't know, 1 or 2. You'll probably get L337 and Chewie in Cantina or something like that. I'm hoping they kind of go back to the Cantina. I wouldn't mind some extra Cantina, like they go to level 10 or stage 10 or whatever, because I know they're not going to put any more back in the stores, which is kind of depressing.
Yeah, they've said that Galactic War done, Arena done. They're not getting any new characters, but then
that too.
But then the thing is, like we were kind of discussing this as well. It's like, okay, so that leaves Guild Store, and it leaves Guild Shard currency, but a lot of people are still farming Hermit Yoda and Womp out of there, right?
Yeah.
So, and then Ship Store doesn't make sense because where you made up the point, it's like, well, that kind of screws you on Zeta material because you need Zeta materials.
Yeah, and unless they're going to come out with some sort of new store that we don't know about yet, with a new currency that's going to be like a rotating character thing, like how they used to do the shard shop when they would put the new characters in there for a month or so. I would like to see something like that come back. They could do it back to the shard shop again. I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, I love that feature.
The 7 stars when he was in the shard shop. I would like to see something like that where they put in a character for a limited window, and you could use this currency to get that character, and then in a couple of weeks or in a month or so, that character's gone, and then in comes a new one, like how they did the shard shop. I would like to see that come back. It still leaves a small free-to-play window, and then you can go back to it being on hard nodes. But if they just kind of supplement the hard nodes with a little bit of extra way to get the shards, I think it'll work out better.
Yeah, I know people are getting really frustrated because they're feeling like everything's going to hard node, and basically if you're free to play, you're going to get way behind because it's almost impossible. Even if you're using all your energy on hard nodes, you're still going to be way behind the curve if they keep throwing all these new characters out. If they stick to the cadence, it's just going to be damn near impossible to have all the characters you need to catch up to people because it's such a long farm on a hard node. So
we used to have there's always been the pay and the free gap.
Yeah.
But I liked it when it was, hey, you can buy these characters right now. You'll get them 3 to 6 months before everyone else has them.
Right.
But now it's like, buy these characters now or you'll get them in a year.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a little bit too long. I think like the 6-month window is probably, maybe even a little bit less is the gap I think they should want in between pay to play and free to play. That's a good gap. It gives the people who pay a nice little 3 to 6 month window where they're ahead of the curve, and then free to play catches up the slow way.
Mm-hmm.
But if they still make characters that are viable at 3 and 4 stars, like Boss, he's really good at 3 stars or 4 stars. You just can't use him.
In a lot of places, you can't use them in territory wars or territory battles, or you use them in territory wars. So when I say I'm retarded, but like territory battles and stuff like that, anything that requires your Sith Rey, a lot of these characters you will not be able to use because you have to have 7 stars, right?
Yeah, and that's where the kind of the pain comes in, because we're looking at Jolie. Jolie will probably be amazing in the Sith raid, but no one's going to know about it for another year. You know, there's going to be that 2% of people max them out right now, and you're going to see theory crafted videos, and you know, from the dev accounts and stuff like that of like, oh my goodness, if you get Jolie Bindo in here, you're going to do 15%, but you can't do that for a year. So it's really putting the gap between the pay to play and the free to play that's kind of even longer than it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, potentially as soon as I saw Jolie's kit, I was like, this will be a good piece for, you know, the P2 team with the GK lead and Wampa, Hermiota. You know, you can add him in there to keep calling more assists and everything like that too as well. So I mean, he's got a lot of potential, but that's the worst part of the 6-month hoarding of the character.
All assists, right? They said that he's not going to interact with GK's lead that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So he's just a healer reviver type. I think seems like they're bringing some Nightsister aspects to the Jedi with a lot of heals and revive like that.
Okay.
But yeah, he doesn't interact with GK the way Barriss and Hermit Yoda do, which is unfortunate.
All right. Hey, Remon just joined us. Remon, what's going on, partner?
What's up?
What's up with you, man?
Not much, man. How are you?
Oh, well, you know, living the dream, man. What's new in the world of Ramona's
Well, a whole lot. You know, every day I wake up and I do different things.
That's right.
You know? No, but I have some news. I did finally Zeta my Bodhi Rook.
Oh wow! There you go.
I did, and I have him in arena right now as my leader. So I'm gonna send you the screenshot.
You're a good man, Charlie Brown, for doing that.
Yeah.
And that was for Ramon did that as part of the challenges when we were raising the money for the suicide prevention, and so we appreciate that, Ramon.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was waiting till I could record it, so I put it in tandem with my I unlocked Treya last night too, so I just recorded both of them together, and I'm gonna put up a video later today with me sating Bodhi Rook and.
Hey man, congrats on Treya. Thank you.
Yeah, so the video's gonna be titled "The Best and Worst Day of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes."
Tale of Two Cities, Star Wars Galaxy Heroes with Ramon.
Have Clone Wars Chewbacca zated than Bodhi.
Well, he did it for the charity, so it's not like he just got a spur of his butt and decided to do it. He was like, "Aha! I have to do this." All right, let's answer some questions. We got everybody here. I think Dr. Finn has not yet made it in, but it's all right. I'm still scooping up all the questions. So, let's see. First one's for me. Oh, okay. Sorian Sky question: Ranger, how would you feel about a Revan capital ship? Well, first we have to get our Lord and Savior into the game. Then, yeah, if he was in the game, I mean, I could see his. I can't remember the name of his ship. I could see it. Yeah, I could see it. All right. Start at the top here. Nathaniel Miller question. Let's go down the list. Start with you, Warrior. Anyone else want to get the Sith enemies in the marquee battle as playable tunes? Yeah, what do you think about those commandos and stuff, Warrior, that we saw in the Bastila and Jolie battles and stuff?
Well, the first thing I can say is I'm happy that they not only introduced new environments, because those do kind of get the same thing, different day kind of thing. So new environments, that was awesome, especially leaning in on the KOTOR era. That was really awesome. The second is the new characters. Not only that, like Grimoire Brutes and the Grimoire boss, and like it was really cool to see them not just try to introduce a new character, but try to introduce new characters and new environments. So it was really, really fun. Loved it all, but some characters are just meant for, being the PvE characters you go against, and We've had Embo in the game forever, and it's sad because it'd be really cool to have a playable Embo that we could use to like throw his hat and kill people. That'd be fun. But it's just not going to happen. Those characters they have in there are not going to come, I don't believe, to the game, which is too bad because I think if it's a built model that they had to put into the game with a kit and everything like that, how hard would it be just to put it in a store and make it just a generalized vague character for, it doesn't even have to have a super OP kit, just for collectors it would be fun.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't see it happening.
Well, keep your fingers crossed. Let's see here. Next question will go to you. Stoner Jedi question from Nathaniel Miller again. Is there / has there ever been a toon who a full free-to-play should have saved their crystals to farm from store packs or shipments?
Can you repeat that one more time? Sorry.
Yes, it says, why is Stoner not paying attention?
No, I am. I don't understand the question. I don't understand, is he talking about, free-to-play, straight free-to-play? I think that was, Bodhi and stuff, right?
That's FTP means, free-to-play. Is there / has there ever been a toon who a full free-to-play should have saved their crystals to farm from store packs or shipments?
No, he's talking about the value of a toon.
Yeah, I mean, more recently, probably Scion or Nest would have been the big ones. I mean, it's just potentially investing that much into a character. I don't see the value in that. And I mean, that's just me personally.
But has there ever been a character like that, as free to play, you should save up crystals for and stuff like that? Yeah, there's been quite a few actually.
Like Nihilus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of hard nodes. The Baze Malbus, like Warrior was talking about earlier. Hard nodes. Let me pull up here.
I think they're talking like crystals, where they're just buying them out of shipments and stuff like that, where you save all your crystals as a free to play, and then the person comes out, and as soon as they go into shipments, you're buying them, or you're buying the packs and stuff with your crystals. Those 5 to 330 packs.
Yeah, so mainly just those three. I would say Nihilus, Scion, and Nest. I went in a little bit on Nest today actually, and got 8 or 4 shards out of the shipments. I'm only doing 4, 8 at a time to not consume too much of my crystal resource management. You know what I mean? So that's just me, because statistics are going to get better. She gets up to 7 stars. So if you don't want to keep doing the hard nodes like we were talking about earlier as well, Scion's a good one, Nihilus is a good one. Anything other than those two I wouldn't really recommend unless you have the crystal resources and you're getting top 5 in arena every day, top 3 in arena. So those are end game tunes that are always arena viable and standalone characters. There's this one guy in my arena that runs Rex Lead, Nihilus, Scion, Nest, and Wampa. There's no tank, and they're all really heavy DPS characters, but they're also long-term farm characters, right? So other than Rex, so it's just if you want to go that route, and if your arena payout's gonna benefit that in the long run, go for it.
All right, let's go to the next question, and make sure you guys get your questions in. And if you want to make sure we get it, make sure it has a question in front of it, or it is in the form of the question. All right, we'll go to you, King Felix, on the next one. This is from Devil's Treasure, and the question is Bastila lead now strictly better than GMY lead after the fixes?
I don't know about strictly better. I think it's a whole different type of option. I'm planning on Zetaing her lead as well. Hush.
Your dog agrees.
Yeah, he's mad I'm coming up the stairs. I'm a big fan of it. I'm not sure how much that bonus protection will last against some of these triumvirate teams, but I'm excited about the tenacity boost and all of the other aspects to her kit. Also, her battle meditation, which you can just give to Grandmaster Yoda right off the bat, and then he can spread it to everyone, which is going to be extremely helpful. Plus, if you pair that with Grandmaster's training, all your characters are going to get these boosts in their stats, in game, and it's going to make them hit pretty hard. I know my Grandmaster Yoda can already crit for about 60k, 50 to 60k, and Warrior's saying he's hitting 70 with his Ezra. So that's some of the damage that you're going to need, because other than that, Jedi don't do a whole lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's definitely possible. But it's also, are you willing to Zeta a 3-star character? That's a big one because a lot of people refuse to Zeta anything under 7 stars. I'm not one of those people.
I'm not.
I Zetaed Wampa, Hermit Yoda, Nest, Scion, all these.
Traya, Scion. I don't care. The Zeta is needed. It goes on.
But another thing is right now I was looking at the Jedi last night, and you're almost getting to the point where you are going to be able to use 2 Jedi teams in Territory Wars. You'll be able to have 2, and we kind of had one with Qui-Gon Jinn lead Zeta, but his is going the way of the Dodo. So if you're able to put together 2 teams of Jedi, and you can also slot some non-Jedi in there to fill out the teams, because there's only about 10 good Jedi as there is. I like to throw in my Fulcrum with Grandmaster Yoda's lead. But I'd say wait a little bit longer before you put a Zeta on Bastila, because you can't get them Zetas back. So wait, see how it goes up against Emperor Palpatine. Watch the videos from Warrior and the other Game Changers. See what it's like against Traya, because that's where the meta is heading.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right. Remon, we'll go to you next. This is from Fat Tony 99. Question: assume Revan is coming to the game. Where does CG go from there? How can you top our Lord and Savior Revan?
Well, first I think we're going to get Malik before we get Revan.
Agreed.
And I think that there's lots of characters that I don't know if you'll necessarily top Revan. Return of the Jedi Luke can top Revan.
Old Man Luke.
I think you can get close to Revan, or in that general region by adding characters like Malgus or Vitiate, Exar Kun, characters like that. I mean, you could add some really cool expanded universe characters, Star Killer, characters like that. That would be
Mary Jade Skywalker. I mean, they've got a smorgasbord. It's like you go to the store and just pick whatever you like. You've got so many options.
People have been clamoring for Jango Fett for years now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of cool characters that they could still add. It's not like they add Revan and all of a sudden the game's over. I mean, there's still a lot of places they could go.
Yeah, there's so many great characters. I mean, it's ridiculous, the smorgasbord of what they could go with. In this era, we'll just add these characters. So there's a lot of ways. I mean, Dr. Aphra and the droids. I mean, there's so many characters that they could add. I would just like to get a regular Chewbacca so we can get the regular Millennium Falcon for ships. Am I cray on that, anyone?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Jesus. I mean, we got OG Han. Can we get OG Chewbacca and then get the regular Millennium Falcon? One of the most iconic ships ever. Speaking of ships, Vesser Kai has... Go ahead.
There's some things that are kind of weird. I mean, I was having actually a chat with Warrior about this in private yesterday about how they have like 4 or 5 first order ships in the game now. There's no first order capital ship, but Warrior made a video that they're going to add like now possibly a Sith ship as well. So it's kind of nuts that they're doing all that, and I mean, I feel like there's not enough synergy in ships, so there's no. I mean, why start adding another faction like a Sith? If you still don't have like a capital ship for First Order, I don't know. I feel like they just kind of throw things out there sometimes, like a little bit jumbled.
Because money, that's why.
Money, straight cash, homie.
You're right.
Whenever all you have to say is, "Does this make financial sense for them?" And the answer is always yes, and then you're like, "Oh yeah, now it makes sense."
That's science, Raymond.
Yeah. I sometimes you look for like a rhyme or a reason, and I guess there just isn't. Yeah.
Follow the money. And speaking of ships, this is going to go to you, War. Next question. This is from Vestra Kai. Question: with the focus on ships, when do you think Red 5 and OG Millennium Falcon will come to the game?
Never. I mean, honestly, I would love both. A third Millennium Falcon with the way they did Han. Probably that's a possibility at some point when they're really needing like a Q3 push financially or something. But I don't see it happening. And then Red 5, should have happened already, and it hasn't. So I don't know. So to be fair, to their defense, building these characters out and stuff, like people, every time they come out with a new set of characters, the first thing the whole community says is, well, why didn't they do X, Y, and Z? They did A, B, and C, but not X, Y, and Z. And I mean, to their defense, like, they can't do everything every time. But on the other side of the coin, there's some stuff that should have come in the game at a higher priority than other stuff. So, I mean, there's two sides of that coin. One is you kind of got to cut them a little slack because building and developing and engineering these kits and these characters and all of this is so much work that they can only do a few at a time. But on the other side, Luke Skywalker should have his ship. Anakin should have his ship. Han Solo should have been the pilot no matter what from the beginning, from the Millennium Falcon. Like, I don't know. There's just some of those things. It just doesn't make any logical sense to not have had that happen already, except if they're going to go into the bag of tricks for those things later. But there's always stuff they can dig in, later that people are going to enjoy and like, So I don't know. I wish they would, but I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Yeah, it's funny. I remember when we were doing our interview with CG Carey that she said that they have a year plan, right? That they have everything laid out for a year. 18 out. So I mean, they've already, when we're seeing stuff come out, like just think a year ago, they had already planned for this to be the release. So, but again, you make a great point. Launch of ships. Why didn't we get an OG Chewbacca and a Millennium Falcon? It boggles my mind. It really does, because I'm just like, how does that not in the game? We had all these Hans and all these Chewbaccas, and the one thing we need is OG Chewbacca, and we need the Millennium Falcon. Oh my god. No, we're not using that defense stand. No, Papa Pius. Make sure you guys get your questions in, guys. This is a Q&A show, and I am scooping up the questions. Dr. Finn is still not here. I guess there was more wrong with the card than we initially suspected. He said he would be here, guys, but he's not here yet, so Dr. Finn doesn't show up, you can send all hate mail to Dr. Finn. I'm just throwing that out there. So wait for some more questions to come in. Let's see here. Wait, what's this? Darth Hideous says, 5 dot purple potency set offense triangle with 5 speed. Should I roll it? 5 dot purple potency set.
Why wouldn't you? It's a 5 dot. It's purple and it's showing speed.
Yes.
And
it's a triangle.
It only costs like whatever 80,000 credits to see what you're going to get. So from 12 to 15, it's like
that's different.
380,000 credits. But from 0 to 12, it's like 100,000. So
right.
85,000 credits. So why not? I check everything. If it's showing speed. Although speaking of credits, I have 70,000 credits. I'm screwed. I've got a Jolie at level 65. I can't even level my characters up anymore. There's too many characters coming into the game so fast, I can't keep up. And what's funny is just literally 45 days ago, I had 140 million credits in ship currency and 145 million credits in regular credits. I had almost 300 million regular and ship credits, and then they did the ships 2.0 and brought out 9 freaking characters in a 45-day period, and now I am as broke as a free-to-play player playing for the first 2 weeks. It's nuts.
I always keep a cushion of around 40 to 50 million credits, because I'll either buy some mods, especially triangles. If I see a speed arrow, I always get it. But anything triangle across that has speed, I'm getting it, especially if it's like a speed or a quick chance.
Did you get in all your characters to level 85, though?
No. The ones that I'm not using, they're at 50, and I put mods on them. But until I'm ready to use them and stuff, I mean, it's not that many. But those characters, I'm kind of like...
my OCD. It costs like 6.6 or 6.8 million.
I'm not taking Ugnaught to level 85 and stuff. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't use it. Why? I'm just like,
I spent 40 million credits in one day on that squad.
Yeah.
When they did those events that week.
I can't do it, man. I can't sit there and look at some character that I know I'm never going to use and say, well, I'll just spend 6 million credits to get him to 85. If it ever becomes possible that for that character to be worth some value, then okay, sure. I'll like as soon as Bass came out, I didn't even hesitate. 6.8, 85. Let's rock and roll. Let's spend the credits, right? But I'm not going to sit there and do that for characters that I'm not using or don't plan on using. So. It's just a different mindset that I have, I guess. Maybe I have brain damage. I don't know.
Have you guys been getting worse results from the credit heist lately, or is it just me?
I always get 5 million.
I actually
just
got
you.
10 mil the last time. I got 12.5 the last go around. I got a 10 mil.
I got 4 million the last 2 times.
Yeah, because the last 2 or 3 before I got the 12.5, I was getting like 4s really bad. But I've only gotten 10 mil. That's the 3rd time I've gotten it. So
this is what happens when you keep getting 5 million, Remon, and you keep saying, "Damn it, this sucks," and then they're like, "No. I'm going to show you what sucks a couple of times, and then you can be happy you're getting your 5 million every 10 days."
Yeah, I was
puts a new perspective on 5 mil.
Because the next time Remon gets 5 mil, he's going to be like, "Thank the Lord in heaven."
There is a baby Jesus. All right, let's get to some questions here. They're coming in now. Make sure I'm getting them all. Okay, got it. All right, Victor Anton said I missed his questions. I went back and scooped it up. So, King Felix, we'll go to you. Question. Do you see a lot of people getting pissed if 3-star Bastila ends up being a counter to Traya? She is super easy to gear, and everyone has her now. She's not.
So the question I would see people that are pissed? Is that the question?
If she becomes a counter to Traya.
And why would I be mad at? I guess they're meaning like you work so hard for Traya, but now they release this character who's super easy to counter her.
Right, she's not. So
I'm sure some people would be mad. There are those people who don't even use light side characters strictly because they're of the dark side. But everything in this game has a counter. I mean, you even have there's a guy in my shard every day who climbs to the Thrawn lead with the Magma Trooper. Magma. Yeah, he climbs every day with that, goes through every Traya like it's butter, and he sends us the videos of him going through our teams, which I'm fine with. I have no problem with a generic stormtrooper named Magma going through my Traya team. Because that's the way the game is. It's chess. It's not checkers. There's a counter to everything. I hope Bastila is good enough. I mean, when was the last time we saw Jedi flourish in Arena? It was, 2 weeks with Qui-Gon Jinn Zeta lead, and then they were gone again. So I think the more teams that are viable in Arena, the better. I want to see a Jedi team, a Sith team. I would like to see clones come back. I want to see everything.
No, that's not happening anytime soon, buddy.
There's two sides to that coin too. I mean, I heard about it from Team Instinct already. That there are some people that have like a 2 million GP and are in the top 250. They've got a 3-star Gear 11 Bastila Zeta, and now they're climbing number 1 and knocking Team Instinct at a number 1 on their payout. And they're like, "Who the is this guy?" What the hell? And it's like, so, and they're running Trey lead, and they're like, how in the hell is this guy who's never gotten into the top 100 now posting number 1 spot because of a freaking 3-star Gear 11 character with 1 Zeta? So I think that's what he meant, and that's probably going to piss a lot of whales off because yes, this one free-to-play character can be geared up to Gear 11 in a week or less, basically by anybody, and you get her 3 stars to begin with, and all you need is a Zeta, which everybody, including free-to-play, earned. So as long as you were, wise with your Zeta, you could have her. And if you have the other pieces to this puzzle, which most probably won't if they're free-to-play, but if you do, it's like winning the lottery, having her come out. You're going to be able to climb and get into the top 100, top 50, possibly number 1 slot, all because you have one chintzy, easy, free-to-play character. And I think that's where the frustration from the whales and the Krakens are coming in, because they're like, man, why would they do this? But to be fair, one, they fall 100 spots in a day or more, and so they got this crazy climb every day. Who wants to do 800 battles in arena every day? It's already working slog enough,
you know. Basically, spent all the crystals you got.
And when the meta shifts, that one person that had all their eggs in that one free-to-play basket will then be back to ground zero. I have a guy in my top 10 when Emperor Palpatine went meta. He became in our top 10 and he consistently stayed there, so we went ahead and let him in our leaderboard, right? You know, okay, go ahead, come on in, because you know you consistently are in here, so that's fine. We don't want to be like a club. We want everyone that can consistently make it to be in here for navigational purposes. We let him in. Well, he's not in a guild that does Traya, so we now all have Traya, and he can't get into the top 10. He can't beat us. And so now he's asking for us to drop mods every day, and he's asking for us to do other stuff. And I personally don't care because I'm just too busy to do all of this. A number of people on my leaderboard are frustrated because they're like, why is this guy asking? I mean, if he can't compete,
if you
he
can't
just
compete, you can't. I'm sorry. That's it's one thing to have a spot, but you have to be able to maintain that.
Yeah, so anyway, I told him, I'm like, hey, some of the guys are kind of grumbling because, you know, it's like, you know, you put up or shut up. Either you can beat us or you can't. And some of the people want you to just put up or shut up. We're not taking mods off and we're not changing teams. You either beat us or you don't. And so he's being left behind because of a new meta. And that's kind of what I mean is these people with the Jedi who are climbing, it's going to be short-lived, genuinely short-lived, because once something evolves, they'll be left behind.
Yeah. And to be clear, guys, if you are running EP lead with Traya, the Bastila team can beat you. But if you're running Traya lead, like let's say you have Traya with the Triumphant and Sith Trooper and stuff like that, that team ain't beating you. It's just not happening. So I mean, it could happen, but it ain't gonna consistently happen. You know, RNG can always get the best of us.
Hold on, Ranger. I wanna. Maybe Warrior knows the answer to this question. Because I'm running the Emperor Palpatine with the Triumvirate, but I also have a Nest. But now, and I haven't gone against any Bastilas in my shard yet, but is her tenacity going to stop that daze from working right off the bat? Like,
yes.
Yeah?
It will shut that down. Nest is obsolete with a Bastila lead.
Sweet. Means I can go to my Bastila then.
Yeah, because with what Palpatine does with that team, with Nest and stuff, it counted that, but Traya, no. You're going to get wrecked. So, all right. Now the questions are coming in. Let's see. King Phoenix, okay. Stoner Jedi, I think Hyrule has a question. So if they bring the Eternal Twins, do you think they will be needed to unlock their sister? Really, Thing? He just cannot get past the Eternal Twins. They ain't coming for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see the twins too, don't get me wrong, but I mean, like, the direction and the way that everything's going right now, it's, you know, Malik and Revan, and then the what's it called, the Galactic Republic rework in the fall and everything. Sure. So I mean, there's a big schedule already for, you know, or not even a schedule, I should say, but like a picture of what the rest of this year looks like, at least. So I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a while.
Well, I think they're going to do these characters, but I keep saying this, guys, and I think this is true. I don't know if it's true. It's just my best guesstimation of what's happening, because with Battlefront in the fall, going to Geonosis with the big battle map and stuff, I think we're getting another territory battle with Geonosis being the playground. So just throwing that out there, guys.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I totally agree. I mean, and the requirements, possibly. I could see that. I mean, it's just they would have to release other characters around them too. So,
all right, let's see here. Remon, next question. Darth Skywalker, who is the best fifth on a Talzin-led Nightsister team against JTR, against CLS plus Chase?
On a Talzin-led Nightsister team. I mean, I've always felt like the Nightsisters. I've always felt like the Nightsisters are best together. I mean, like I feel like a full Nightsister. So I mean, if I was going to say a fifth, I'd probably say Nightsister Zombie or Nightsister Act. Yeah.
I don't know why you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you're definitely taking in Asajj Ventress. You're definitely taking in Old Daka. So I would say, besides the three that you're definitely taking in, I'd say the other two, for me at least, would be I mean, preferably I'd say Nightsister Zombie and Nightsister Spirit. But if not, then Nightsister Zombie and Nightsister Acolyte.
Well, it depends. If you're using a Mother Talisman League, you want to go Acolyte with Zombie, right? If you're using Asajj League, right, you want... I personally like Zombie with Talia, because I really think that really just lays the scunion on those teams. But yeah, Nightsisters, you don't need to bring those up to make them viable.
Yeah, I mean, Talia, honestly, I haven't messed with Talia since...
Oh, she's super nice, dude. She really is.
I haven't messed with Talia at all, and ever since the first time I used her and she, like, basically killed herself trying to heal somebody else, I was like, I'm never using this character.
You should, once you get her up, because her AoE with everything she does, it's really nice, man. Her stagger.
I'm kidding. I've heard some good things. Since the rework, she seems like a lot better.
Yes.
I mean, but
all right, let's see here.
But yeah, I mean that's what I would say.
All right. Let's see what's going on. All right, next question for Warrior. This is a perfect question for you, Warrior. This is from Nathaniel Miller. Has anyone ever calculated the drop rate of different primaries on mods? I've been looking for a potency triangle with offensive primary for weeks to finish off a set. You're the drop rate guru, Warrior. What do you think?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm the drop rate guru.
I'd say you're the goddamn drop rate guru. Mods. You're very smart.
No self-station, Warrior.
Honestly, there's people that probably have spreadsheets on Reddit. If you would just go to Reddit and Google all of that or do their search there, you probably
popular.
Find
they don't want to do that.
Secondary stats. I know what's a good secondary stat, but I don't know how often it will drop. What I can tell you that I know just from me personally is the bottom right two. The plus and the triangle are like I never have any ever. And the other ones, I always have like a full set of like 12 to 15 leftovers on all those. So I know the hardest two to get just in mods in general is the plus and the triangle. And then, of course, to get anything on those is even more difficult because if you do get a plus that drops that's actually good, it's like defense. Yay!
Yeah.
That's just how it works.
Yeah, I got one of those today.
What did you say? Yeah, I typically, those are the harder ones. The speed arrow or anything speed on the triangle or the cross. So really what I do is I look for the mod store now for those. I don't buy any of the other spots because when you're farming mods, you get a ton of those. You get a ton of the circles, ton of the diamonds, and a ton of the squares. It's those ones you just mentioned. Getting those are really hard. So I supplement my mods with, if I see speed arrow, I get it. If I see anything with speed or secondary on the triangle or the cross, I get it. So it's you just have to be smart about it. All right, next question. We will go to King Felix. Smoke31 has a question for everybody, but we'll start with you, King Felix. I'm tired of guilds sandbagging by coming in less than 50 intensity or not. It does affect matchmaking. What are your thoughts on this, and will CG ever fix it? What do you think about that, King Felix?
Interesting time he asked this question because our guild recently had a little bit of a split. So I think we went into this territory battle 40 out of 50. We're down like 40 million GP almost. And we got matched up with a team that is, I think, 15 million less than us, and they have a full roster, and we're probably still going to beat them. So I agree that it's unfortunate for some of the lesser GP heavy guilds, and it's not always intentional. Sometimes it is what it is. I mean, we'll have people go on vacation, and then you go in, 47 out of 50, and you get matched up with a team that's or a guild that's lower than you. It has something to do with the matchmaking with CG, and it's gotten better, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. We've had a lot more closer matches lately, but it's something about when a full 50 isn't there, it throws their matchmaking off, and then we're gonna get matched up with a guild that really should get matched up with somebody in their own GP range, not 15 million difference, and that's with us being down because the guilds down there their GP is just, they don't have as many Gear 12, they don't have as many Zetas, and when you take away 10 rosters off of our guild, we still have more Zetas, we still have more Gear 12. I don't know if there's anything. I'm not a coder. I don't do that, so I don't know if there's anything CG can do to maybe change the matchmaking when guild goes in not full strength. But it's not always sandbagging. It's not always trying to pad your win-loss record. A lot of times it's just real life gets in the way, and you go into a TW with not the full 50.
Yeah.
But hopefully CG can figure out some way to code it slightly better.
Yep. You're right. Yeah, I know we had one, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had someone that couldn't be there on vacation, so we were 49 out of 50. And we got a guild that was 6 million GP less than us, but it wasn't something crazy. I mean, we still won, but it wasn't like what you're saying, 15 million. But that's I don't know if guilds are doing it or not. I can't talk about it. I know we've had an instance here too where we've lost a person that just could not be on. They're out of the country or something, and they just in the middle of nowhere they couldn't be on. So that will happen. But if guilds are doing that, I don't know what the fix is. That's something CG is going to have to address. With their coding and stuff. All right, let's give up some more questions here. Give me a moment, guys. I have questions to ask. I just have to get all these other ones. Try to get Dr. Finn has failed me for the last
Hurry it up, Ranger.
I know, right? Jesus. All right, next one's gonna go to Stunner Jedi. If I can get this damn. Let's see. All right. All right, Stoner Jedi. This is from Danilo Papayas. Question: did anyone of you ever get good results with a mixed Jedi-Clone team under General Kenobi lead, or think it would be good with the inclusion of Jolie? Stoner Jedi?
Yeah, there's that one combination that you recommend all the time, actually, that GK lead, Barris, Fives, and then there's the +2, Rex, and then was it Nihilus or a heavy DPS?
Yeah, we just
fifth. It'll be a easy win for you on offense, and
yeah,
it's also like if you have a good heavy light side DPS too, that's another good team for territory battles too as well. You get a lot of good benefit out of it. So
Princess Leia goes in those kind of teams a lot.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. So potentially like Ezra's another good one for that one. Raid Han. It just depends on where you're at and what your lineup is and what you have available too as well. So.
It's funny. I didn't even have. I didn't have a trade team for the last after I had unlocked her. So I actually used that on my team. Faced a JTR team. Or no, who was I facing? I can't remember, but I just destroyed the team because I couldn't get the Treya. And there's just all these taunts and tenacity. And she's just in there like, death, 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 death. And that's single Nihilus. You can't get to him. So he just sits there and does his thing and then annihilate. And then it's the easiest one ever with GK Paris.
They destroyed the CLS teams.
What's that?
They destroyed the CLS teams.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There's not enough damage to get through the Barris GK, and I love Fives in that team.
Yep. Extra taunt and
you see a lot of Wampas in that team too for the solo.
Oh yeah,
and Wampa will just destroy everyone. Every 30 seconds he's killing another character.
Right. Let's see. Next question for Remon. Paul Apsley. Question: what is the best combinations of ships and fleet battles? I'm struggling with fleet battles so far.
Well, there's pretty much two schools of thought on that. Some people are big fans of Grand Admiral Thrawn's capital ship, and some are bigger fans of Home One. I think one of the better squads you can run right now would be like a Home One squad with the Geonosians.
That's one, yeah.
And another one would would be, I guess, Grand Admiral Thrawn squad with possibly a combination of like maybe a big Starglider ship and I mean, I'd say the TIE Advanced and maybe. I mean, help me out here. Do you guys have a third for this?
Well, there's the standard team that people running with the Chimera, but another team is Executric with the Geos, with all Empire coming off the bench, TIE Advanced and all those, because they get so many bonuses and their reinforcements under that are really, really good. Then you have the Home 1, but then you're running more light side ships, right? So for Home 1 with Geonosians, it's Ghost and Phantom as your first two off the bench. That really is disgusting, right? With their reinforcement abilities and things that they do, along with say a Poe or something along those lines, right? So those are some of the combinations I've heard. Is there another combination anybody's heard that besides those that I just mentioned and Rima mentioned?
Yeah, like the original meta still is valuable. Like if you fully maxed out Chimera, and then like Remon was going to, you got Biggs, TIE Advanced, and then you can either do the Imperial TIE Fighter or the First Order TIE Fighter pilot for target lock synergy. And then what was it? There's also the one that V does too as well. He does
He's all
Executrix. Yeah, Executrix with First Order. That's a really good one too. It's basically like a control turn meter team in a sense for ships. Once you go all in on the ships for First Order, they basically, start manipulating turn meter. They're stunning a lot. They're constantly buffing the whole team. The kit's really crazy with Kylo Ren's command shuttle. It's, I believe, the first reinforcement off his bench because it comes out and then reduces turn meter, I think it is. But the First Order has a lot of good synergy, and potentially when they release another First Order ship individually, that'll just mean more synergy. And there's a lot of it's like everybody recommends all the time with ships. It's like rock paper scissors, and how you like to run your lineup or what you have available for crew members gear wise. There's a lot of different synergies, and then there's a lot of different opinions on what's the quote unquote best reinforcements or quote unquote best Omega abilities and all that kind of stuff. Still is up in the air too. So.
All right. Let's see. Next question. I lost track of who's the next question. See, Stoner. Well, who do you think get the last question? It was the Remon, right? So we're back to
Warrior. Yeah, back to Warrior.
All right, I'm trying to get a good one here for you. That's a good one. Well, here's one for Bastila. Does Bastila counter Nightsisters from Fat Tony 99, Warrior?
No, everything's paper, rock, scissors, and Nightsisters are a bastard. On when you've got Nightsisters offensively and you're going against that team, the Jedi just continue to target, sadly, the zombie, and so you can slowly pick apart their team, and the Jedi actually on defense destroy the Nightsisters mostly. It's just there's that revive mechanic that allows the stupid Nightsisters to basically not thrive but survive long enough to finally by 4.5 minutes win the battle. So Nightsisters aren't amazing against the new Jedi meta. They're good enough to win, but for on defense it's just impossible for the AI because it sees a taunt, it goes for it, and it's like, damn it, that's the wrong taunt. You wanted to kill General Kenobi instead or something. So AI still leaves something to be desired, but Nightsisters can definitely but on offense you can kill Nightsisters in like 40 seconds. So I mean, if you're talking about countering Nightsisters as far as like being able to beat them offensively, oh hell yeah, it destroys them offensively, but defensively you can't. I mean, it's indefensible because of the reviving mechanics and the ability to finally at some point finally get plague landed and then they kill themselves.
So that's an interesting point and an interesting question. So if we were to go like through territory wars with the Jedi the way they're currently constructed, Let's kind of think about this. Like, say, Warrior, for instance, who you're going against a First Order team. Would you say Jedi could beat the First Order team with Kylo Ren unmasked and everything stated?
Yeah, because I do, and because they're really, really fast. They're going to really, First Order kind of have that burst at the beginning, and that burst is going to be negated by all the additional protection up and tenacity and all of that. So it really doesn't matter their burst. And then the thing with First Order is a lot of people put like, Hermit Yoda or Barriss or someone with them, so they get that health gain to make them super annoying. And of course that gives them enough time to do the damage they want to do. But they, when you got Hermit Yoda, or not Hermit, but Grandmaster Yoda jumping around doing 70k, it doesn't matter if they gain 10,000 life; they're still taking 60k of that. The Jedi can, at this point, a Jedi team offensively can beat anything in the game. Period. Hands down.
Right.
They're the single best offensive team to have in your pocket if you're doing that.
Including Traya on defense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Walks through Traya. In fact, we're having to change our strategy completely now because of the new Jedi. We can't do the Emperor Palpatine leads anymore. They're going to get walked over.
And when you say Jedi, is that including Bastila or without her?
Yeah. For high-end guilds, that we're going against, everybody's going in and buying Bastila. I'm not, but I mean, a lot of people are. And that means the next territory war we do against Wallet Warriors, for example, they're going to have 30 to 40 Bastila Jedi teams. And if they put those on, if they use them on offense, they're going to be able to use those to just one-shot clear our Traya teams. And so we're going to have to swap to a Traya lead on all those teams because we currently do Emperor Palpatine-led teams.
Right.
And it works really well, but not after her. She's changing forever the strategy of territory wars by coming in.
And for people that want to use it on offense, what is the team that you recommend that they use? And who's the leader?
Well, it's tough because the optimal team is never going to be available in territory wars because you always lose pieces. I lost my General Kenobi to my Nightsister team, or but it would really, if possible, consist of Grandmaster Yoda, Ezra, and Bastila as the leader, and then the +2. And the +2, you're probably going to lose your Hermit Yoda to another team, possibly. You're probably going to lose General Kenobi to another team, possibly. So you'll have to find replacements for them. But a couple of replacement options. I mean, Ayla underneath is stupid. Her potency boost is basically guaranteeing her stuns because there's two things with her stun. You got to have the crit chance up, and then you've got to have the potency there to actually apply once the crit chance triggers it. So her stuns are almost guaranteed, especially with all the buffs and with the offense up and the armor penetration and all that kind of crap. I've been seeing 35 and 40k hits from Ayla Secura, and she calls assists when she goes, and those assists are doing sometimes 30, 40k. So she's a great offensive weapon now with Grandmaster Yoda's rework and Bastila coming into the game and Ezra. Having Ayla would be a control piece that would work really great, and then probably a tank of some sort to try and
Kenobi, Old Ben on that team.
Yeah. If you're using Old Ben in another team, use General Kenobi. If you're using General Kenobi in another team, use Old Ben. Those are probably the best two Jedi options for tanks for sure.
What about Ahsoka, Fulcrum Ahsoka Tano on that?
Oh, that would work phenomenal. Because you may want to keep that as an offensive option, but that would work phenomenal in that particular lineup as well. And just have an all offensive team. It's just they might be able to target who they want without that team.
Yeah. All right. Next question to Stoner Jedi. It's kind of around the corn, but we'll start with you, Stoner. Darth Skywalker question around the corn. If you could only use one faction for the entire game, who would you choose?
One faction.
Say Voltron.
Game. Yeah, right. Voltron. No. The whole game, I'd say Rebels. I guess the Sith. Potentially, depending on what you're running. What you're running or where you're playing, the most viability nowadays, obviously, is the Sith from top to bottom. So
Yeah.
I mean, aside from like ships, excluding, if I had to say like a second team, it would be the First Order.
I love me some First Order. That's guaranteed 5-6 wins automatically on defense every time we do territory wars. I love it. I love it.
My crew's the only one that's gear 12, and like I'm chipping away at getting the other ones up to gear 12. I'm more focused in on Treya and Sith Trooper right now, and a couple other standalone pieces. But the First Order, oh man, my First Order does really well on defense for territory wars with, the minimum Zetas. Obviously, I have everything Zetaed out with the original Kylo Ren, both Zetas on crew, and then First Order Stormtrooper gets the team going too as well. So, the whole faction on defense for territory war, just to pop in on territory wars and look at how many defensive wins that team gets is really exciting. So
yeah, let's gotta go around the corner. King Felix, one faction. What are you picking?
That's terrible. I don't know. I mean, you get the most out of the Rebels just because there's so many, but I'm gonna go with Empire.
Excellent.
I'll take the Empire over, and I still get Palpatine and Vader.
What about you, Rebon? Paging Dr. Rebon. All right, we're one faction, my friend. You can only pick one. Who you rocking and rolling with?
Shoot. That's so difficult.
I know.
My first inclination was Rebels, but truth be told, if I had to just have one, I would probably lean into Resistance with JTR, BB-8, or 2.
That's not a bad choice, man. It really isn't. You can poo-poo or say whatever you want, but that team is still really awesome. Oh, look, everybody. Dr. Finn Medicine Woman joined us. Thanks, buddy. Is he there? Dr. Finn. What is happening? People are not responding. I don't like this. Alright, well, Remon and Finn are there, but they're not talking. Maybe they're off doing their own thing. They're drinking some coffee somewhere together. I don't know. Alright, next question. I was going to go to Remon, but it's not there. But this is a question for both you, Remon and Warrior. It's from Thane. He says, question for Warrior and Remon. Why don't you guys make more videos about territory wars, i.e. how to beat the most popular defensive teams with non-meta squads?
That's a really good question, and I'll answer it as diplomatically as I can.
That's right.
A couple of things. First off, if you don't watch my roster reviews, you are doing yourself a disservice. I have shared a ridiculous amount of strategy with people on roster reviews. I talk about offensive squads, defensive squads, all sorts of stuff. So if you're not looking for they're like Easter eggs. I'm not going to just come out on a video and be like, here's territory wars, blah, blah, blah. And this is why there's too many offensive teams, defensive teams, and what we see on the high end is not what you're seeing in the mid, which is not what people are seeing in the lowest in guilds. Everything is evolutionary. And so all I would be doing if I just did that would be disclosing our highest in strategy, which would be totally screwing my team, because the only people that would really watch that video and get any real substance out of it would be individuals in the highest level guilds that actually have all those teams with those Zetas. And so I would just be slicing my team open. And so there's a level of discretion that we should, as YouTubers, have when it comes to our strategies. But at the end of the day, I share those highest end level strategies with patrons because they're my patrons. And I also share a lot of that strategy in my roster reviews. And like I said, only anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 people will watch a roster review, and that's okay. I don't need anyone to watch them. But those have some of the highest end strategies shared. So if you go and look and find a roster review where it talks about territory wars and you click on it, you'll learn a lot, and you'll be like, wow, why does he share all this? This is crazy. He's going in this deep. So they're Easter eggs.
No, we do the same thing, man. You're absolutely on point. I mean, we do.
But I'm not going to come out and make a video saying, here's how to beat.
We tried that, but we just did a general what this team could be on offense and defense, just like 5 or 6 of the defensive teams. And that was a while ago when Territory Wars first came out. But yeah, we haven't done one since because it's ever changing, man. And especially with all the new characters added, you never know what that one character that they add that completely throws, like you just mentioned, Bastila. It's going to completely throw off everything. So, it's kind of hard to do that because you want your stuff to be up to date. And I think you made a great point. Because when we're doing our roster reviews in our lunch stream, we break down teams for people. But there are such different levels, right, with their GP and stuff. So, it's too involved. It's too crazy. Just listen to all the stuff. If Warrior puts out watch his goddamn roster reviews, I think it's the best thing. So there you go.
If Warrior could go up and show me all of the defense for Team Instinct on a video for all of YouTube,
that would be great too. That.
Yeah. Just want to know.
This is our plan.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, if I can chime in on that one too, man. I watch Warriors videos for his roster reviews all the time, and I mean, like, it's always fun consistently, doing the lunch streams because, like Ranger just said, everything's consistently changing. There's always a new strategy or formula in a sense, right? And then, everybody has their own defense. So it's like, it's hard to make videos on YouTube about territory wars because you don't want to like give a formula away in a sense and shoot yourself in the foot. And I mean, like, there's always a new mechanic to beat the new formula. It's just figuring it out as a group and getting with your guild and communicating with your guild on, what you want to do on defense and how you're going on offense as a group.
Well, and that's the other thing about the roster reviews that are so poignant is I share the highest in knowledge with my patrons publicly on a video, but I tailor it to what they have physically in their roster.
Right.
So if they don't have a specific strategy set, I don't even talk about it. I talk about what they have. But I may say, hey, you need to mod for tenacity 100% on your Magma Trooper and use it with a Thrawn lead. And then people are like, what? And it's like, yeah, that's a known strategy. But a lot of people didn't know about that strategy. But I've been talking about that strategy for like 3 months in my roster reviews. And it's just now finally hit the metaverse, 3 weeks ago. And it's not to say that I came up with it. I didn't. The high-end guilds all knew.
Warrior.
The high-end guilds all knew about it, but I just wasn't. I was using discretion and not disclosing that. Publicly on a massive video. But at the same time, I kind of was because I was giving that advice in roster reviews. But if only 1,000 people watch my roster review, then that's on them, that's on them, not me. I like I said, I could care less if my roster review gets 1 view or 1 billion views because that roster review is one person, and I only put it public so the rest of the population can decide whether they are going to benefit or not from that information I'm providing to that individual.
Right.
But yeah.
Dr. Finn, are you back yet? Are you listening? I see you typing in chat. You better say something. I'm going to punch you in the nose. I know you're there lurking. Quit trying to hide. Bastard. I want everyone to give Dr. Finn a hard time because he is being antisocial. He's in the Skype, but he's not participating. I just want to throw that out there. All right. Let's see. Next question for Stoner Jedi. Doc Knockwood. Oh, no. Doc Knock. Wait a minute. That's a weird name. Doc Knock. Would Vet Chewie work well on a Rex lead, Wampa, Darth Nihilus, and Thrawn team? I don't think they're Stoner Jedi.
What's the team comp one more time?
It says, quit playing with your baby and listen to the questions. Would Vet Chewie work well on a Rex lead, Wampa, Darth Nihilus, Thrawn team?
I mean, that's just to get him hit hard and then stun, and then a mechanic to kind of manipulate the other team to get Nihilus going, right? I mean,
I don't see it.
Yeah, me neither. Because the only thing I can see is the stun, and you potentially won't be able to get his offense where you want it to get the most out of him, right? So you'd get more benefit out of him with a Lando lead and a scoundrel team. You know what I mean? The synergy with that better than that team. That's just my opinion.
No.
Hi, Ranger.
Oh, now you want to talk. Hi, Dr. Finn.
Hello.
Hello.
This is why you're so
Hans Bricks.
Oh, God.
Oh, not Hans Bricks.
Oh, Hans Bricks, how's it going, buddy? Hey. Let's see here. Dr. Finn, would you like to answer a question?
Sure.
Since I'm doing all the other work, I mean, at least you can participate. And I'm gonna have Warwick judge your answer. So if it's bad, then there'll be consequences. So Darth Unlucky has a question. With mod slicing, is that just upgrading the rarity or the dot level as well?
Okay, so I'll answer this kind of in two parts. So what they gave us in the description has nothing to do with the dots. You only can do slicing on 5-dot mods. So there's no upgrading of dots because you can't do anything on 4 dots. And it's not... Okay, so defining what you mean by rarity is also important. So what is defined currently as rarity is going to vary when the new mod slicing comes out. So essentially, right now, rarity is based on the number of secondary stats that you have. So green means that you have 1 secondary stat, blue means you have 2, purple means you have 3, gold means you have 4. What's changing is that now that's only referring to how many secondaries you had when your mod was level 1. Not when it's level 15, but when it's level 1. So you can have 4 secondaries on a blue mod because that just means that it started out as a blue mod, meaning that it has 2. What the slicing actually means is you'll have your list of secondary stats, and then next to it you have a list of numbers. And the numbers represent how many times that particular stat has been leveled up. And so when you get all 4 secondary stats to show, so let's suppose you have a gray mod, when you get it up to show all 4 of your secondary mods, so when you get it to level 12, all of them will have a 1 because they've all added 1 bonus to all of them, meaning that's what you get in order to get the base stats. The gold represents that sum of those numbers equaling 8, meaning that you've had 4 additional upgrades besides the 4 in order to show your secondary stats. So rarity is now based on how many upgrades you've gotten to the secondary stats. So gray means you've had a total, assuming they're level 15, gray means that you can get a total of 4. Green means you have a total of 5, blue means you have 6, purple means you have 7, and gold means you have 8. So rarity is changing definition on what it means based on the current definition. So to answer your question, yes, it only affects rarity. It's not affecting the dots, but the definition of rarity is changing when they introduce the mod slicing with the whole new kind of mod system that they're kind of updating. Now, speculation-wise, this is, again, just pure speculation. It looks like they may be leaning towards a slicing model where you will need gold level 15 5-dot mods potentially in order to make 6-dot mods. That may be something coming up down the line, but that is all just speculation right now. So currently nothing to do with dots, but it's possible based on the current system that they are going to introduce something along those lines.
That's science.
Did I do okay, Warrior?
Yeah, how would you grade that answer?
Super accurate, 100%.
Damn it!
Except for the easiest answer was you can turn a blue mod to a gold mod now. You can turn a purple mod into a gold mod now. Because it used to be blue mods had 2 showing, and then it would raise 2 of them, and then drop 2. Now, once that's done, you can now go back to that blue mod and raise 2 more times. And since the blue mod had speed showing and rolled once, and it's a 10 plus 10 speed, you had a greater likelihood of the blue being better. I'm sure they're going to address this because now, blue and purple are better mods because statistically it was easier for blue to get that speed secondary roll, and like for green, it was guaranteed. If you have 1 speed secondary showing on a green mod and it was a 6 and you roll it, you're 100% likely that 1 speed secondary is going to roll from a 6 to something, so you might have 12 on a green mod. And then when you go to slicing, it's going to get 3 more roll-ups. And so there's a chance that speed could get 4 rolls, and the first roll was guaranteed, whereas on a gold mod, there's 0 guarantee. It's a 25% chance that first roll, that speed's going to roll up. So that's kind of almost an unfair advantage for lower level in mods during slicing. So my guess is they're going to probably try to come up with some sort of way of balancing this to maintain the integrity of a higher rarity mod initially. But basically, long story short, you're right. They're just trying to get your crappier mods to be better by giving you additional stat rolls to make a blue an actual gold mod like it should have been from the beginning.
Do you think the Warrior that they're the highest secondary stat for speed is going to increase now? So like the highest I've ever seen is like 27, I think like 28 speed secondary, somewhere in that range, like 26, 27 speed. Like, do you think that we'll see like 30 speed secondaries now and 35 speed secondaries now, or do you think it's still going to be like the highest?
Yeah, statistically, it's impossible to go anything above 30. That's the actual max. If you had a 6 secondary speed showing on a gold, and then it rolled 4 times, 6, 6, 6, and 6 is 24 add, plus the 6 original is 30 plus speed. So if you win the lottery and you're a multi-billion-dollar winner, you'll get a 30 plus speed mod. But every other mod in existence will be at or below 30 speed. My guess is that what we're going to see is there's going to be a bunch of people that had, like me, I'm super excited about this because I have a bunch of sets that are like plus 110. And I'm going to be able to run all those mods through that gamut, and hopefully something in speed will roll on those secondary stats. And my 110 set will now be 120, 125 set. And so I'm hoping I can become more competitive in Arena with that. But the downside is the other people will be doing the same thing. I'm just hoping their mods were gold to begin with and don't have the capability of rolling, and mine aren't, because I know I haven't had very many good gold mods. So I'm just hoping I can level the playing field a little bit.
Because I'll go the first stat speed 6 on a gold mod. I'll buy it. I'll roll it. It stays 6, and I just want to throw my head at the glass
window.
But
you know you like it because you got that tenacity from 1.5% to 8.5%.
No, Warrior, I don't. Okay.
Where are you guys getting these 6-speed secondaries? I've never seen a 6-speed secondary in my life.
It happens, but
yeah,
rare.
It's rare.
It's rare. Mainly, if I can see 5, I go for it.
Yeah, if I see 5, I'm like, oh, a triangle with 5. Let's roll this. All right. I got nothing. You son of a bitch.
If I see 3, I go. If I see 3 or 4, I go for it. I don't get 6s. That's for sure. I mean, like occasionally.
That's why I only go for 5s, because I know the chance. It just seems I've bought 8 gold mods here recently. I've not had maybe one roll, and it was a 5 to a 9 or something like that. I was like, thank you, I guess, but none of them have rolled any double digits. None.
This does bring up a curious question. So maybe I'll refer this to Riemann and Warrior, because I think you've spent. You definitely spent more money than I have in the game. Yeah, I know, but they've spent more than you. So the question I have is, I know a lot of people, especially kind of at the Whalier's side, have spent a lot of effort trying to get gold mods to try and roll up. So do you think that it's a bad thing that it allows now blue and green, which I know are more prevalent, especially as you go lower down into the free-to-play in order to kind of get those secondaries, that they have a chance to be on the same level as the gold? Because it kind of seems like it diminishes the purpose of farming all the gold mods for the past, I don't know, year?
Yes, it does, and that's a concern of the high-end gamer, and so I don't believe that Capital Games is going to ignore that. They will probably make the statistical drop rate for speed lower than normal on slicing versus rolling on a normal. So what I'm saying is if your statistical likelihood of a gold mod rolling speed being 25%, it will probably be when slicing 12.5%. Does that make sense? So when slicing, you'll have a less likelihood of that speed actually rolling, whereas if you were to buy or invest in that better mod, and I'm just speculating, I have no idea, I'm just telling you that is a legitimate concern, and they will more than likely address it, because players that spent 100K or 20K into mods and then all of a sudden have their mods be equalized after other people who had spent nothing, it would be riotous. And so this is why they do, the betas, and they get people's feedback on a lot of things. And so I'm speculating, but I believe that they will, in slicing, have a unique set of drop rates that are going to be lower than the drop rates of a normal mod, so it will still benefit someone to purchase that gold mod with the higher drop rate chance. But again, speculation.
Well, slicing is not going to be free, right? So whatever currency is used for slicing is also going to probably come at a premium at some point. So bear in mind, old money is definitely new money trumps old money at all times. So, if you're talking about like mods that were purchased, a year ago or 2 years ago when mods first came out and people were using crystals to buy mods, some of those people are going to see a devalue in some of those mods for sure. It's definitely a concern, just like Warrior said. But I think that what's going to end up happening here is that people who are still spending money are going to continue to spend money on mods, and they're just going to have better mods because they're going to, through the duration of buying more ingredients or whatever it costs to do the mod slicing, they're going to basically just have better mods. So ultimately, it's a numbers game, right? Like the more slicing you do, the better mods you're going to have. So I think it'll turn out to be the same thing. I mean, but again, some people who spent money in the past that aren't going to spend money on slicing, might see a dip in the quality of their mods versus people that are now free to play, leveling up those mods. But again, the person who's spending money is always going to have an advantage over the person that isn't spending money. I think in this case as well.
I just want my gold mods to roll higher. I'm not asking for much in life, damn it. I blame you, Finn.
Yeah, probably my fault.
It is your fault, bastard. All right, see, our last question. We'll kind of throw this out there. It was kind of a fun question. Real quick, we just had the Last Skywalker said, "Hi guys, first time watching Jedi Academy live." Well, hey, glad to have you here, Last Skywalker. Welcome aboard the insanity. But we're going to throw this out there, everybody. Darth Skywalker question. If Arena had 6 characters with 2 leaderships, what would be some fun teams to run? For example, Talzin lead, Asajj leader, Daka, zombie, spirit, acolyte, something along those lines. What do you guys think?
EP and Treya.
Oh my god. Imagine that. Great Master Yoda and Bastila versus EP and Treya. Go. Oh my god.
Darth Vader and IG-88.
I would say Rex lead and then anything else.
Right. What's the name of this team?
CLS and Boba Fett.
Oh, no disintegration.
Rex and Mother Talzin.
Oh my!
I missed the question. What was the question? What 2 characters? What?
Mix 2 leaders. Any 2 leaders.
And for a arena team, so you could have 6 characters with 2 leaders in the team.
Grandmaster Yoda and Bastila.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like it's like, what's the name of this team? I win. What do you mean? It's I win.
So 2.
I'll take Bodhi and Pow.
Finn and Jedi training Rey.
Oh,
that would be.
And then Boba Fett and Lando.
Oh yeah, like max crit damage. Yeah.
Let's just throw in an extra 100% crit damage.
Ooh. What about like Boba and Bosk?
Oh snap!
You get both the contracts.
Yeah, both contract payouts.
You know what's gonna kill it though? It's gonna be like old Ben and Dooku.
Oh, don't say that!
Dodge.
Oh god! Or old Ben and what's her name? The
Luminara.
Yeah.
Luminara versus and Maul.
Luminara and Barasafi.
Oh god! I can't hit him, and when I do nothing.
Fast.
I'm not glad. That was some of the fun parts of doing like Cantina battles and stuff, and it's combining 2 leadership abilities. And then you just go in and mollywomp somebody.
Wreck face.
Triple mollywop. What would be the urban league team?
You know he wants to rain blood.
So he's gonna go with his girl Zam Wessel. Even though she doesn't have a leader, we'll make it work. I love Urban. Oh my god, he's ridiculous. We gotta find when we get him on, man. I know he's really busy, Finn, but we gotta find time somehow, some way, dude.
Yeah, I know. Ooh, so speaking of Bastila, what if you do Bastila and Qui-Gon Jinn? So you get 30 speed plus the turn meter on Jedi.
Ooh. And the foresight. Oh yeah, man.
Oh god. There's all that protection regen and stuff. Oh god. Oh, Jesus. The possibilities are endless with this stuff. Oh my god.
You could do First Order, Phasma and crew.
Oh,
man,
God.
that would be nasty.
Don't forget about the Ewoks, Chirpa and Tebow.
Oh god.
Oh,
I'm
man.
stuffing and all that stuff. Oh my god.
Mother Talzin and Asajj Ventress would be cool too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
oh yeah.
not only will we do all this stuff, we are also going to be putting play on everybody. Enjoy. Jesus.
Ooh, what about a CLS and Akbar?
Oh god. That would be wrong.
That would just put a hurting on
Or
somebody.
CLS and Wedge.
Oh yeah, all that health regain, all that counter. Oh man.
I would love to see Finn and Rey Jedi Trainings leader both work at the same.
Oh yeah, that would be
Oh,
disgusting. Oh god, that would make Resistance ridiculous. Ugh. Talk about having to go back and figure out the meta again. Jesus.
Everything would break if we had 2 leaders.
Traya and Nihilus. Good luck.
Oh man.
I can't seem to do anything against this team. Why is this happening?
Ooh, Vader and Traya.
I could maybe see that one.
Yeah, turn meter reduction, and then Vader stacking the dots, and then Treya's just wrecking them.
Oh Jesus! Oh my God, that is ridiculous. All right, well that's all the questions we have for today. That was a fun one. Jesus. All right, so this is where we allow everybody to pimp their stuff. I want to thank the panel for being on. Always a pleasure to have these guys on. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to their channels. They're about to tell you where you can find them out, and really support these guys because, you know, they take the time out of their busy schedules to come here and do this for you guys. The least you can do is subscribe to their channel, watch the videos, give them the thumbs up. That's how you monetize them. That's how you support them. So it behooves everyone to do that, you know. So we'll start with Warrior and work our way down. Warrior, where can folks check you out at?
They can find me on my YouTube channel at Warrior Presents, as well as Warriors Roster Reviews, and they can find me as well on Twitter at Warrior Presents, as well as the Facebook page. I don't really do Reddit a whole lot, but you can find me on the Facebook page as well. Yeah. I know you're on that Facebook page, so
I love it.
Yeah, there's like 60,000 people there, and it's a pretty good group of people.
It spams your news cycle, but I don't care because I'm always looking at what people are saying, and it's really cool. I like it a lot. So if you haven't joined the Facebook page, you should. It's really it's a cool group.
Yeah, you get to see Warrior educate some lesser-minded people.
Well, what happens is people go in there and they make statements that are not okay.
Yeah, and wrong.
It's like, you know, and I just have to like say something about it, and it's not trolling per se with them or me. It's just they're like saying, "Oh, Jedi, he doesn't know how to do X because I watched his video." It's like, well, no, you can say I played them poorly because it was just a generalized overview talking about their kit, and I was playing in the background, not paying attention, and so I played them poorly. I'll agree with you on that. In fact, you can give me suggestions, and I'll even give you credit for the suggestions. But to say I don't know how to play them is just an arrogant statement. A blanket statement about my abilities, and that's incorrect. And so sometimes you have to kind of put your foot down and debate a little, and then afterwards they'll see the light, and once they see the light, we become friends, and it's goose rava after that.
I'm not gonna lie, I've thought about trolling you on there because obviously people know your real name, but people don't know my real name. So I thought about just going on there and messing with you until you.
Well, if you've ever seen me, most of the time I'm exceptionally lighthearted and fun. And,
you are.
Yeah, most of the time. But every once in a while I'll call someone out because they make like a really stupid statement that doesn't make any sense. And then their arguments are baseless and weird, and so I kind of hold them to the fire for a minute. But most of the time they're really fun conversations, and we discuss stuff, and I get trolled and I troll other people. It's actually really pretty fun because it's all in good fun most of the time, 99% of the time.
Yeah. All right, and do you have a Patreon page, or something that's linked to your videos?
Oh yeah, it's all inside of my videos. I don't even talk about Patreon. It grows way too fast for me, so it's one of those things.
That's a horrible thing to have, Warrior. Be quiet.
Yeah, if you want a roster review, then you go to Patreon and sign up, and then you get my access to me on Discord too, because my Discord's locked for only patrons. Which I'll tell you,
all my patrons would tell you right off the bat, the roster review's cool, whatever, but they actually, it's my Discord chat that they all fight over. That's what they want. That's what they need. And I don't know why. That's the biggest value in their eyes, but it is. That's what they all say. So would be the reason why I would sign up if it was me.
That's right. Remon, you there, my friend?
I am here, my friend.
All right. Pimp your stuff, my friend.
Well, you can check me out on my YouTube channel at Ramon Azab. And I also have a Twitter at Ramon Azab or Ramon_Azab as well. And I'll be doing a live show on my channel tomorrow night, the Alliance live show. We're doing testing of Bastila Sean's lead and some other things. So you should definitely check that out. And I have a video coming out later today, like we discussed earlier about Trey and things like that. So you should check that out as well. But definitely appreciate you having me on, and
love having you.
I appreciate being here.
Absolutely. Stoner Jedi, where can folks check you out at, homie?
Yeah, check me out on YouTube. I'm Takedown Games, Xylo Takedown. Got a lot of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes content, as well as I've been playing Marvel Strike Force for the last couple weeks. And if you like either or, I mean, collaborating on my channel, come check me out, man. Really appreciate it. Always hanging out with RSG, and Ranger, thank you for having me on. I always love hanging out with you and the Game Changers as well. To really appreciate it.
Yeah, MC2 represent.
That's right.
Now, Finn, we had a video we just put out, right? What's the status of that? Dr. Finn?
It'll be back up. I had to pull it to make some changes, but it'll be back up.
Was there, you're such a perfectionist, man.
Yeah.
If something doesn't, if it is not perfectly made, Finn, oh God, it's driving me crazy. So when can folks have the video back up? Because people are really enjoying it.
Tomorrow, I think it'll be back up. Soon, TM.
Oh God. All right. And Finn, since you weren't here, I'm gonna let you pimp our stuff because I'm tired because I did everything.
You're for Clint. All right, so thanks you guys for watching. This is the RSG channel. You are watching Jedi Academy, which starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturdays. And also later tonight on a different channel, RSG Mature, you'll be able to join us at 10 p.m. Eastern Time for the RSG Mature stream. That is at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, RSG Mature channel. That is for our 18-plus viewers, where people just get tore up and have some fun with Mad Libs and match games and all other kind of things. On this channel, however, besides Jedi Academy, on weekdays at noon Eastern for about 1 hour, we do our lunch stream, which is on weekdays during work days, so we're off on holidays, where we just try to entertain you during your lunch hour, do some roster reviews, answer your questions, that kind of fun stuff. And Wednesday night, 8 p.m., that is our flagship stream. That is our SWGOH live stream, 8 p.m. Wednesday nights, where we go through the news and notes from the past week and give you our opinions as brain-damaged individuals on what is going on in the community and what we think should be going on, what we think you guys can do in order to prepare, and so on and so forth. So thank you guys for watching. This is the RSG channel. Thanks again to Warrior, Ramon, Felix, and Xylo. I think that's everyone, right?
Yep, that's right.
All right. So
make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe for our channel as well, guys. I really appreciate it. We do have our Patreon going up. That's up right now. If you would like to help support the channel as well, then please go to our Patreon site. It's linked. It is linked in the description, right, Finn?
Yes.
Okay, because you failed me last time.
I know. I've been failing you a lot. That's what I do.
But yeah, we really appreciate everybody here. Have a great rest of your day. Look out for the Mature channel stream tonight, and then remember tomorrow, guys, we have the D&D campaign that we're doing. We'll be doing that as well tomorrow at 5 Eastern is when we're starting that, Dr. Finn?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So on behalf of myself and the rest of the guys here, thank you for stopping by, and we will see you later. Peace.